For the next number of weeks, we're going to discuss what we discussed in our melava malka. Thank you everyone for turning up. And that is the rules of people, ideas, wisdom teachings about people, human beings, humanoids. What are we? How do we work? And obviously, we are only going to be touching the surface. However, just to think about these ideas, to contemplate these ideas, to entertain these ideas are truly healthy for us. Because as we know, we as a species are not singular beings with no one else on the planet. It's not just me living on the planet by myself. There happens to be several billion of little me's, human beings on this planet. And it would be nice to try and understand how we work a little better. Some ideas to entertain, to improve our relationships. As research shows repeatedly, we are the most social beings on the planet. We're the most social species. And this is something to think about because really it goes much deeper than that. If there were no other people on the planet, the likelihood is we would die. How do we learn? How does language form? How do ideas form? How do we develop? It's because of other people. And everything that we are is very much always connected to the people around us. From when we're born into the world, obviously the creation of us, all the way through. One Kabbalist expresses the following, that even the creation of a human being needs two. Never ever singular in the prat. Hopefully one day we will be singular in the whole. We will come and become an organic whole. We're waiting for that days, as we've shared many a time before. What is exile? Exile is an imprisonment. It's a movement away. It's a fracture from the whole, from love, from echad, the oneness. And we're working our way back. Well, the more that we understand ourselves and the more we understand how human beings in general work, changes everything. And what ultimately we want is to live with long-term, healthy, intimate relationships. There's been a social experiment. It's been underway for over 70 years now in America. And the experiment is measuring what's the most important feature of life. And this has been spanning a number of generations now. And as it spans, the research becomes more and more developed, building on the wisdom from what was before. So much so the facilitators of this experiment, a few of them have retired or even passed on. But what's the key most important feature? So it's an amazing thing. It's called relationships. Long-term, healthy, loving relationships. And the research comes to show that even if people have physiological issues, ill health, the quality of their relationship will determine usually longevity, the quality of their life, in incredible ways. As we've said before, loneliness kills, relationship builds. Loneliness decreases life. It erodes who and what we are. It erodes the most core essence of what we are. And relationship enriches our lives, deepens our lives, amplifies our lives. We only get to know who we are because we have other people around us. Maybe this is actually one of the ideas of why Torah was only given in the second lot of 2,000 years. The first 2,000 years are 2,000 years of Tov Avo, second 2,000 years of Torah, and the third 2,000 years of Yemais Mashiach. Why wasn't the Torah given at the beginning? Let it be given at the beginning. Why is the Torah not given to Avram Avinu at the beginning? Why do we have to go through several generations to come to Avram Avinu and then a few more generations to come to Kabbalas Torah? So one idea is that we have to understand the humanistic reality of relationship, the humanistic reality of sameness within our species, and the differentiation within our species, and how that works. Only on that backdrop, only with that backdrop, can Torah be given. It's fascinating to note, for example, the Medrash Tanchuma tells us Moshe Rabbeinu did not graduate from this world until he found a leader who was matim for the job of leading the people. Medrash says that this leader had to be an expert in understanding each and every individual. Again, where we are the same as a species, but where we are different as a species. And this wonderful leader was called Yoshua ben Nun. So to understand people, to understand how we work, to understand how we can be helpful, to understand how we can communicate with each other, to understand the most fundamental needs of the human experience, to get on with difficult people, to figure out what is more important, to live by my principles of I'm right, or to let go and just know that people will always be people. The goal I'd like to share here as we end this introduction is that it's inevitable that we are going to live with people, meet people. It's inevitable that this is going to be part of our life forever. Let's make it as good, deep, as graceful. Let's make it as engaging as possible. Let's make it really fun. Be'ezras Hashem Yisbarach. Bracha, mazel, and hatzlacha.